All right, everybody, welcome back to the Great Jimbabwe Plays Slay the Spire, the one last ride playthrough. Look, last time, not gonna lie to you, I kind of blew it. I think that there was a lot of opportunities to win, maybe got a little too silly along the way, didn't put enough thought into some of my choices, but we're gonna try again today, and I think it won't take long for us to bounce back. A little unfortunate that I blew the streak after one, so was hoping we would do a little better than one in a row. Couple things, you would have thought after the first video that I would have learned my lesson about cutting the videos short. I did manage to show you guys the cards that we unlocked, and there were quite a few good ones in the mix there. I think it was Corpse Explosion and Catalyst both in the unlockable cards, which is crazy to me. But after cutting that off, I did find out just playing the silent, even without the win, unlocked the defect. So we will see the defect, I think, in our screen here when we go to the play button. I think I've decided that we're going to go ahead and bounce around characters kind of free will. If we rotate through, it kind of, I know what the thumbnails are going to look like. It kind of prevents you guys from knowing the outcome of the previous run if we're just going in consecutive order after wins. So we'll bounce around and do what we're in the mood to play. The one other thing I mentioned last time, I noticed the text on the Steam version of the game spilling over on the cards. But when I went to the settings for about 10 seconds, I noticed a bigger text is an option in the Slay the Spire menu. I never even thought to look for that before, but I went ahead and turned it off for this run. Maybe it's my old eyes, but I was kind of not hating the big text, so maybe we'll go back to that in the future. But for now, let's get into it. And so there you go. I guess I did not see anything mentioning that we unlocked the Watcher. Does the Watcher just come with the defect after they added her to the game? I did not know that. Okay. Well, I guess we have access to all 4 characters now. We do have Ascension mode on Ironclad. And I kind of have a sour taste in my mouth after the last Silent run. So let's give the Silent another shot. So we did get to the Act 1 boss last time, so hopefully that means some more options here. Yeah, there we go. We have the option to obtain a rare card with no downside, 100 gold with no downside. Lose all of our gold, 99 gold there for 14 HP, or drop your starting relic for a boss relic. I'm not a huge fan of 14 HP with a downside, or a good amount of HP with a downside. I think it does vary a little bit by character, but yeah, that seems like not enough of a boon for 99 gold. I guess that is, kind of the equivalent of a health relic for 99 gold, but no early shop then, and doesn't really give you any damage boost. We don't have all the rare cards in the pool yet, I don't think. There's probably still some to unlock along the way. I think I'm going to take 100 gold. I think the early card draw on the Silent is just so strong. I hate to give that up for the boss relic, but we'll probably see me boss swap from time to time. We'll go 100 gold. Let's look. Should have looked at the map first. We do have an early shop over here on the right-hand side. Quite a few combats along with that. I'm going to look a little more carefully this time around. I think getting the early shop is going to be worth it. We still have an elite up here that we can challenge. There would only be one elite on that path. I think we're going to go ahead and try it. All right. So we're looking for early damage after this fight if we can do it. How am I doing today? Doing pretty well. Work day for me. Recording a little bit later than I have over the past couple of days. Spent a little time with the kids. We ran a couple of errands, going for some Home Depot runs and some grocery store runs, making sure that we have what we need to keep the house going. At work, I'm actually backfilling someone who's on maternity leave. The way my work works is we actually sit at customers' sites, so we have my parent company that I actually work for, but we all get kind of spread out amongst a few different clients in our area. So backfilling one of our employees at their site. Not my favorite site that I've worked, but my time there is almost up, so that feels pretty good. I think we've all worked in some places that we'd rather, be anywhere else. So it's part of the deal. Happy to be employed in today's world, so not complaining too much. We're not going to get the knockout here, but I think we're okay. Let's see, yeah, we full block. Damage should be good next turn. And there we go. Let's see what our first offer is here. Calculated gamble. We had that last time. Didn't quite go our way. I think dodge and roll. Like I said, I like the card, especially for a common. I think no obvious way to get dexterity right now. And no damage out of that. So kind of hard for me to take dodge and roll. I don't love riddle with holes. I think 2 costs for 15 is pretty steep. Does improve, has some synergies, whenever you hit multiple times like that, especially for the silent who has ways to, deal poison damage potentially with multiple hits. I think early in the run, riddle with holes is probably fine, so that'll give us something to kind of build around early. Maybe if we get to that early shop, we see a way to get some strength or some poison. We'll talk about that. So we got the jaw worm here. I'm not going to play riddle with holes. We'll take a damage to hit this guy one time. One little piece of good news for me. A buddy of mine got married a few months back, and he and his now wife shared the wedding photos. I was in the groomsmen party for that event, so it came out great. I feel like sometimes you get pictures back and you're not always happy with the way you look, but maybe the photographer knew how to touch us up just right. We looked all right. Good looking group. It was a fun wedding too. Let's see, can we get the jaw worm dead? Let's see, 15, 21. Yeah, I think we can. So we're off to a pretty good start here. Let's see. I don't know. Have we seen backflip yet? Did we see backflip last round? I don't think we were offered it, but yeah, 5 block, 2 draw. I think we did see it because I mentioned that it's a card that it's still useful later in the game. I think the card draw on the silent is always helpful. No discard besides our starting cards. With what is it, Survivor? Why am I forgetting the name of that card? Yeah, Survivor. I think Flying Knee, and we have a card that costs 2. I think this is fine. Let's take that. And let's hit the shop with our bonus 100 gold. Let's see. So Adrenaline, always a good card. We all know how I feel about that. I took multiple of them last run. Let's see. 2 HP each combat for 149 seems a little expensive. I don't think the 2 HP is a huge difference maker. I like getting that from chess. I think it is good. A little sustain is always a good thing. Let's see. We got the Anchor. Start each combat with 10 block. These the boat-themed relics, always giving you some block on different terms. I think the Anchor is up there. It's probably definitely not 3rd out of 3 of those boat relics. It's either 1 or 2 for me. Then we got Lee's Waffle, which is raise our max HP and heal all to full health. Not a huge impact. A little max HP is always good, but we didn't take the 14 earlier, so I'm not going to do it now. I'm between the Anchor, Adrenaline, and Panache. We have not seen this yet. Every time you play 5 cards in a turn, deal 10 damage to all enemies. A lot of ways to do that with the silent. A lot of ways to get 0 cost cards. Get shivs in the mix. Like, it's not that hard to play 5. We do have the more expensive riddle with holes, and I hate to lean into it too much, but I think we're going to take Adrenaline. And that gives us the flexibility to do some different things depending on what we're presented with. And one thing we did not do a good job of last time, removing cards. This is definitely coming back to me as more critical than I originally thought. We did take a couple damage cards. It's between a strike and a defend. I think I'm going to cut a strike with the intent to take another damage card next time we get presented with it. So, all right, push forward. friends the Laos. We can take out the damaging one. I will do that. This will be the first time we see them pop their shields in all of our playthroughs so far, so I will just smack them. Good measure. Should be in good shape here. We have no reason to draw more. We don't have any cards with permanent perks. No, we don't. So we will take this guy down. Oh, we did get Blade Dance here. I mentioned last time Dash earlier on, pretty good. But 2 cost attack. Getting a little expensive. We do have Adrenaline Flying Knee. I think I'm going to try Blade Dance. We didn't take it last time, but I don't think we have kind of a defining strategy yet in this deck. So let's take something different. All right, we'll definitely neutralize him. We can full block. And we should have a pretty good chance to draw a 2 cost attack next turn. So I think Flying Knee, definitely good here. Game is just so balanced. I think it's, you know, when I really look at the run last time, you know, didn't play very well, didn't make optimal choices, and I think the results reflected that. I don't feel like it was unfair at all. I think there's some games out there that can feel punishing at times, even when you're doing reasonably well. Appreciate the effort they put into fine-tuning this. This is going back a ways now, but when they were updating this game, I feel like they really nailed the balancing patch. I think by the time they stopped patching things, almost everything in this game was like right where it needed to be. There might be a couple of exceptions. I think there were some cards. Oh, let's take a look at this for a second. Our friend Outmaneuver. Maybe this is a chance to take that. I mean, I do think you know, we have some expensive cards. Yeah, we have a little card draw, Deflect not so bad. We haven't seen Terror yet. Apply 99 Vulnerable. Definitely works okay with Blade Dance flying, you know, all of our attacks, and obviously Riddle with Hold. That really cranks that up, and especially if we decide to upgrade it. Let's try some Terror. But yeah, I think there's the only thing I would say, and maybe they'll change this in Slay the Spire too. There was a couple of, like, maybe mechanics that it seems like they started in... there just wasn't enough in the game to go with them. So I'm thinking about the Watcher in particular. I think Mark is what it's called. I remember that being like a... There might even only be like 1 or 2 cards that even apply Mark. That felt out of place to me at the time. I definitely remember thinking that. You know, Riddle with Halls is kind of our big damage dealer. Free Terror is definitely good. Let's get the Riddle with Holes upgraded with the intent to play that against elites and bosses. All right, we do get Riddle with Holes. I think we'll take the extra energy first. I think we can take this guy down. It's gonna sound weird, but clicking the cards instead of like clicking them with the controller X button feels a little funky to me. I'm still getting used to that a little bit. All right, we're taking a little damage here. Nothing to write home about. Let's throw Terror out there. And we're sitting pretty this fight. Sip of water here. And no reason not to play our attacks. This past weekend we took our 2 kids on their first road trip. I think it was about... Well, I guess in our heads, it was supposed to be about a 2.5-hour trip, which doesn't sound that long for the average adult, I would say. But trust me, we knew what we were getting into and the risk we were taking. So it took about 4.5 hours, of course, to get there. Far longer than we anticipated, even in a worst-case scenario. Let's make Terror free. Oddly enough, that wasn't even the worst part of it, though. We got there, you know, we were staying in a hotel. We did opt for a slightly bigger room than, you know, we normally would. It gave us the option to kind of separate us from the the kids. Let's just see. Toxic Egg, whenever you got a skill to your deck upgrade, always good to see, especially on Silent. So yeah, we had a closing door between us and the kids. We brought their little playpens for, bedtime. But I gotta tell you, it went about as bad as it could have. It's our youngest, or my son, is on a little bit of a vomit streak, unfortunately, and that came into play night one within the first 3 hours, just puked all over the floor. So, rather than enjoying a little getaway, my wife was wiping up the floor. I was running to the local Target to grab cleaning supplies. So, not what you want to see. I'll leave it at that. I think we both agreed that we will not be doing another trip. This was actually supposed to be a little bit of a litmus test to see, can these kids get on a flight? Which is just an absolute resounding no. They're 2 and 1, so very young. But there was no doubt in my mind my daughter, who's the older of the two, would have been fine on a plane and a car ride. She's a pretty mild-mannered kid, so she kind of lured us into a false sense of security there. And her brother is just very different. Good kid, very smart, very interested in how things work, but man, he could be tough. Let's see, we have some upgraded cards due to our Toxic Egg. Toxic Egg on the first floor is just a great get. Caltrops, whenever you're attacked, deal 3 damage back. Not really helpful against the slime. A couple fights. I think Caltrops is another card I've cooled off on a little bit. I think it's fine. If you see a boss upcoming that it helps against, that's a time to take it. I also think it's good against the heart. So, if you're going against the heart, having a Caltrops, maybe even 2, can really be a boost. Deadly Poison, 7 poison instead of, I think, 5. And then Phantasmal Killer. We do have the 2 Blade Dances, right? Yeah, 2 Blade Dances and a 0-cost Terror and a 0-cost Phantasmal. Next turn, your attacks deal double damage. I think Phantasmal Killer is definitely good enough at this point in time. Getting a little card draw, with some of our 0 and low-cost cards in here is probably looking okay right about now. We only have 78 gold, but let's take a peek. Would have loved to have the membership card. The greatest thing about the 50% discount on the card, that pays for itself sometimes immediately. But no such luck here. Can't afford to remove. Prepared, pre-upgraded, draw 2, discard 2. I feel like this might be takeable. Let's try some prepared. I think moving these cards around, increasing chances of drawing the 0-cost cards faster. Definitely good. We also have 3 potions coming along for the ride here. I think we're going to take both events here. I know there is another shop. We just don't really have the gold to justify it. Yeah, so not only kid's not great, I'm not going to lie to you, my attitude could have been better. So I think my wife was frustrated with me by the end. I definitely did not handle it as well as I should have. But, it'd be frustrating. Young kids will test you in ways you can't imagine, going into it. I feel like when we were first having kids, I thought for sure, I think acrobatics is a must take here. Nice card draw. Yeah, when we were going into kids, I think between the two of us, I was thinking, it would be fine. We'll figure it out, and we do. But I think my wife definitely went in eyes wide open. Maybe she was a little bit more involved in her siblings' upbringing as a child. So I think she understood the challenge. I think we'll throw the explosion potion here. She understood the challenge a little more readily than I did. But you know what? I'm getting the most improved trophy between the two of us because I started so far behind. How about that? Let's see. I think we pop prepared. See if we can get... Yeah, there we go. Get our Blade Dance out there. I'm going to take this guy out. We're not going to be able to kill this guy, but not the end of the world. Should be doing just fine. This is pretty much the fight that's tailor-made for the... Yeah. Oh. Terror. This guy. Tailor-made for the explosive potion. Low health, multiple enemies. Not going to find too many better times to play it. Backstab. Innate deal 11 damage and exhaust. Finisher, definitely interesting, because we do have Adrenaline, Phantasmal, and a couple Blade Dances in here. And then all out attack, we have no AoE, right? All of these are pretty tempting. I think that we can definitely take one, but we're going to need to get some block eventually. I'm going to try Finisher, especially with Phantasmal and the multiple Blade Dances. I think that can work. So we get a combat in our question mark. Phantasmal's definitely good. Pop our prepared. Don't need to block this turn. We'll throw Adrenaline out there. Man, if we can get a Finisher, that's what you're looking for. And we got Terror. Can we take this guy out in one big attack here? I think there's a very real chance. Let's see, and 7 attacks. Yeah, looking good. Paid early dividends. Didn't even need the Phantasmal there. It's a tough one. I don't think we've seen Quick Slash yet. The 8 damage, 1 card. This is one of those commons that I think it looks okay on paper, but then if you look at the upgrade, no additional card draw, just the damage. 12 damage for 1 isn't bad, but I did say we need some block. Now, Piercing Whale, essentially block, and I said last time I would consider it one of the best cards in the Silent pool, especially being a common. But 0 cost block that'll keep coming around, and we have some draw. I think we're going to take Deflect. That might be a questionable choice. I know probably should have put some more thought into that. I'm already falling into the same traps as last time, but I think we're doing okay here. I think a higher damage Finisher's definitely in the conversation. Do we want them extra energy? Or some more? What's upgrade Finisher? Yeah, that's kind of our big attack. We'll plan to remove some more of our weaker cards along the way, and then hopefully increase our chances of Finisher going kind of crazy. Now let's see. We have the acrobatics. We can Terror here. We did not get Finisher. That's too bad. We'll get rid of the defend. Don't need that. We could do 20 here for 2. I think this is just outright better, right? It's 24. Well, it's actually 30. I still think Blade Dance is just better, though. Yeah, so we'll do 36 here, if I did my math right. I want to be a little careful with our damage here. We got the vulnerable going, which is good. But when this guy hits 50% HP or lower, he will split into smaller slimes, much like the other slimes we've seen. This is not a horrible draw for the turn. Let's see. So we can take this guy down to 86. That's not so bad. I don't need to play the defend, but I'll do it anyway. Smaller text sitting on the cards. Definitely not bothering me. I thought the big text was nice, but maybe if you guys feel differently, we'll try something else. Let's see. So Phantasmal, definitely good. We can Prepared and see. I think we'll definitely get rid of the defend because we're going to split them here. I'm going to ditch neutralize. It is 0 cost, but we're going to get some energy. We have the flying knee. We'll probably get another attack. Not guaranteed, but I want to play adrenaline. Okay, that's good. All of the slimes, but we did get Blade Dance. We'll discard the defend. Blade Dance. Let's do some big damage here. Big damage. Love to see it. And then we've got a 32. No, that's a 40. So we almost take him out. That's pretty good. I think against the slime boss doesn't get much better than that. We're going to get double damage. Hopefully this will be a GG for the slime boss here. And there we go. We defeated the slime boss. 95 gold. We'll get another potion. We got full potion slots, something that we want to keep track of. Ooh, a couple of new ones and a couple of good ones here. Malaise. Enemy loses X+1 strength. All these are skills too, so all pre-upgraded. Apply X+1 weak. One of the best defensive cards in the silent pool for sure. Very effective against a lot of fights. Bullet time. Can't draw additional cards. Reduce the cost of all cards in your hand to 0. So it works really well with intense card draw. If you can really fill up your hand, or maybe you have something like the Runic Pyramid, bullet time can go pretty crazy. And then Doppelganger. Next turn, draw X+1 cards and gain X+1 energy. Good card. I think the X+1, the upgrade there is definitely good. For those of you who don't know, the X is your current energy. So if you have 2 energy when you play Doppelganger Plus, you would get the 2+1 cards and 2+1 energy next turn. Deferring is always tricky when you're deferring to the next turn. I think Malaise really offers us an immediate perk, and we also don't have a ton of great ways to defend ourselves, so we're going to take the Malaise. Okay. Coffee Dripper. Gain energy at the start of your turn. You can no longer rest at rest sites. This is an interesting one. This is definitely... I'm going to go ahead. I think that Coffee Dripper is one of those ones in the first... let's say 100 hours of playing Slay the Spire. I think everyone thinks it stinks. But as you start to get a little better at the game, I think that's kind of like the rite of passage. Once you realize Coffee Dripper is good in many situations, I think you're starting to open your mind to how Slay the Spire works. Not sure it's perfect for a situation here. We have Cursed Key again. When you obtain a non-boss chest, get a curse. Like I said, controllable downside there. We did not see Empty Cage last time. Upon pickup, remove 2 cards from your deck. Not sure I usually favor the Empty Cage over energy. Especially in our case, we do have times where we have been short energy, I think. But if you have like curses in your deck, Empty Cage, definitely good. If you were to get this on the end of the second act when you are trying to maybe refine a deck that's already strong, another time where I think the Empty Cage can be good. I'm going to take Cursed Key again. I'm probably going to open up the chest on the second floor and then get a curse without thinking about it, but we'll cross that that bridge when we get there. Let's see. Let's take a little look at our map before we launch into more conversation. We have some gold here. I would like to hit a shop for sure. Not sure I want to fight 4 floor fights with the shop on this little path here, though. Okay, there is an elite up here. This shop is looking pretty appealing to me. We got the chest. One downside is there's not a way to hit this elite in a guaranteed shop if we take the curse. And you'd love to see a shop after chest, and there's just none available on any path. So we will try this one. Let's see. So Terror is going to do nothing for us. Might as well get it out of our deck. Let's see. We'll throw out Blade Dance, hit this guy a few times. We got other news. Fantasy football season's upon us, everybody. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I did have my first draft. Let's see. Yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And, it's a 10-team league. I think I did okay. I actually got the... lottery format, I got the first overall pick. And I'm not huge on having early picks in fantasy football. I think too much variance in performance to really know. Not often that you have a player that's like an absolute lock. I've actually in other leagues where we're allowed to trade picks. I've been known to trade away my first rounder to get a second and a third. Like sometimes you give up maybe a first round pick and a 5th round pick. You get 2 second round picks and 2 third round picks. But didn't have that chance in this league, so 5 energy here. Malaise kind of does go crazy here. So with the artifact, we would be applying weak. We just kill this guy? Let's acrobatics and find out. I think we ditched that. We'll play deflect. So we're doing double damage here, so we can do 2 attacks, and then a big finisher. Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, I won this league last year. I am the reigning champ, so heavy is the head, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But, I did not have, I think I had a middle of the road pick last. Take a little more block. But yeah, with the first pick, I took Jamar Chase. I've never had him on my team before, but it seems like... should have read the event here, but we're playing the matching game essentially. But Doppelganger Plus, I think if we can get that for free, we will try and take it. This is a kind of an interesting little point here, but when there's always curses in the mix, and when I get a curse, I usually take a card I already know and just avoid the curse. I think the downside is just too severe to get a curse for no reason. Yeah, we'll take the Doppelganger for sure. Choke. I don't want choke, so we're gonna take neutralize. But yeah, it took Jamar Chase. I think why the team ESPN's rankings didn't like it, but I threw it into Copilot after, and they thought my team was pretty good. I think ESPN's rankings don't like speculation on suspended players. I have a couple of early injuries and early suspended players, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm projected to win my first game. I have a couple other drafts coming up, but let's see what we got here. Relics wise, would have Ninja Scroll. It's a good relic. I think sometimes can result in a little bit of a clogging of your hand. You get 3 shivs at the beginning of each combat. Good or bad, depending on what you're doing. Started each combat with Thorns, so basically has Caltros for free. And whenever you play a power attack and a skill, remove all your debuffs. I'm not playing a ton of powers here. Any powers, right? No powers. So that's, I mean, there are definitely use cases for orange. Who are we fighting as our boss here? This guy does debuff you. We could take it in a power. Catalyst was one of our unlocks last time. Ripple the enemy's poison with the upgraded version, usually double. I think we're gonna try orange pellets, and we will take a power so we have a fighting chance to play it. Didn't remove there. I know we're falling into the same trap. Deck's getting a little big, but maybe we'll look at some more removals along the way. I think we're getting close to a winnable collection of cards here. Yeah, we could play some. Yeah, we're good. We can do that. Pop Bowler. Get the deflect. We'll carry over a little block. I think we go ahead and hit him with the Riddle with Holes. We could carry over more block. I think he's debuffing us next turn, so maybe an upcoming opportunity to use orange pellets. I mean, this is a power potion, right? So we do have a power potion we can kind of save for a moment where we need it. So that's good to know. I'm trying to remember some of the... Oh, we can play a huge malaise here if we want. That's pretty tempting. Let's just... I think we hit him with the giant malaise. So down 6 strength. That guy's just having a bad day. I'll throw out the Doppelganger Plus. Some of the other players on my team, I think I ended up with... I was really high on Bucky Irving this year on the Buccaneers. I think seems like he's in the right place at the right time. Playing skills against this guy kind of penalizes you, but we'll play a couple. No need to block here. Blade Dance is coming up. Yeah, that melee is really doing doing the Lord's work over there. Let's see. Yeah, Bucky Irving was one of my running backs. I actually ended up getting AJ Brown somehow, which seems like he fell a little too far for his skill level. Let's see. Yeah, we're good, so we can safely play footwork. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I think my team's got a fighting chance, but, somebody always gets hurt in the first, 8 seconds of the season, so that has been my team on many occasions. Ooh, I have to decide if we want to drop something. Smoke Bomb is kind of like that get-out-of-jail-free card. Attack Potion. I think I'm going to ditch the Attack Potion in favor of some Dexterity for a fight. That means we have the footwork. We also have dexterity. I think it's 4 dexterity, maybe against the boss. Sucker Punch apply to weak. That's pretty good. I don't think it's good enough. Outmaneuver's just showing up everywhere, every which way. I'll tell you the other interesting thing. Maybe this is a trend in recent years, but a lot more women playing fantasy football, and especially even in my kind of work leagues and friends and family leagues and all that good stuff. More than in years past for sure. So I guess maybe that's trending a new direction. I think that's great. It's fun to mix up the group. I'll tell you, in many of our leagues, or even when we do like the March Madness and all that stuff, it's always a highlight when someone who doesn't watch sports in any capacity tries to play, and then they just crush everybody. And that has happened on many occasions for me. It's always a good laugh, but I got a good feeling. I think this year I might be back in the saddle in a couple of my leagues. Phantasmal. No ball. I can play at 2 cost deflect. Man. I think with the random cost of our cards, we'll get the extra energy next turn. Let's throw out the blade dance. Now, we haven't taken too much. We're going to bleed a little bit here. Nothing horrible. All right, we've got the extra energy. Free acrobatics. I mean, adrenaline's essentially free. I think we can ditch the 3 cost blur. I don't see us playing that here. Let's get our free adrenaline, draw a couple cards. We can play neutralize. Doing double damage here. I think that's what you like to see. DN Riddle with holes doing some work. Essence of Steel, just not that good. I mean, maybe a little better on the Silent than the Ironclad for me, but I like our potions. I think I'd take the Dexterity Potion is the one kind of on my mind to ditch, but I'm not going to do that, I don't think. Let's see. Burst. This turn, your next 2 skills are played twice. Pretty good. Pre-upgraded. We also have a free slice in the mix. Some skills we want to play twice. Burst Malaise. I mean, that's good times. Let's, yeah, we don't have enough gold to make this shop really worth anything. We only have 10 damage. I think we can smith. A little extra energy, always nice. I mean, we don't have any obvious things that are missing here. Take the bonus energy. I feel like we have use cases for that. Oh, we're back to the Cursed Tome. This is another thing I've kind of thought about as we play through the game. I'll probably read the narratives, or at least try to read them the first time I see them, or the first time I remember that we haven't seen them before. But, maybe in an attempt to speed up our runs a little bit, when we see repeats, I won't read them every time. But let's see if the damage, general feeling of malaise. Let's keep reading. Seeking vengeance, Niao blesses outsider using them for her own purposes. Niao is a woman, by the way, for those who did not know. You're feeling weak and tired. We'll take some more damage, and we'll take the book. Nilri's Codex definitely, of the 3 books, might be the strongest, depending on who you're playing. I think generally maybe the best. Not always my favorite to use. I think just selecting cards every turn can just be like a burden. It's like just the laziest thing anyone has ever said. I'm clicking a couple extra times is a big problem for me. Let's see. I actually think a little extra weeks. Just we don't have a ton of ways to defend ourselves. Burst Melee is obviously good for single target. All right. I remembered. So let's work together on this. The tiny chest. So the chest size does matter in Slay the Spire. So there's like a mid-size, kind of like a triangular box, if I'm remembering correctly. And then the big gold chest, or I think that's what it is like the rare, more likely to have a rare relic. So this is the lowest tier chest. Do we want to take a curse? I'm actually kind of thinking that taking the curse is the wrong choice here. I think I'll make a deal with you guys. I'm going to skip this, but I'm going to fight that elite. How about that? All right, 16 damage incoming. We do have an acrobatics, and a lot of good things to draw with that acrobatics. Burst Malaise is on the field, but don't think we can do that here. Let's hit him with Blur. Probably should have played Burst Blur, looking back, but we'll hit this guy with a bad. That's okay. That was not a great turn. I could have done it more efficiently. Add a deflect. My tendency with Nilri's Codex is to only add cards that I know are an immediate, I want to draw this card. Let's hit the avocado with tarot and play this. Draw a couple cards. footwork. And I think a blocking, a full block, and then a big turn next turn with the Phantasmal is definitely strong. Nah. Yeah, so, you know, I'm going to try to take as many relics as we're going to take a variety of relics over our runs. I definitely want to try them all out at least a little bit. And that's part of the fun here. And I think, you know, part of why we're doing the one last ride is to remember the fun stuff and maybe not miss the bad stuff that maybe won't be in Slay the Spire 2. I think a lot of this will be in there. And, you know, part of it is just, you know, when you have this many relics and cards in any game, no matter what you do, some are just going to be better than others. And I think that's part of it. Nothing wrong with that. And I think we're good here. Yeah, let's get this guy out of here. Bouncing Flask. Haven't seen this yet. Apply 3 poison to a random enemy 4 times. We can also take Noxious pre-upgraded. That is a power, which does work with orange pellets. I don't really want to build around orange. I mean, orange pellets to me is not like the foundation of a great run, but I do want the option to use it when like bad things start to happen. We do have Nilries though. I'm going to take Noxious. I know we took it last time and it didn't go so well, but I think there's going to be some use cases there. Let's hit this guy with the Terror. Let's hit Phantasmal. Don't need any defense here. No reason not to throw out Noxious here. I think this is going to be the kind of fight we can use that. Lake Sweep is a good card, but not seeing that as super critical right now. You would have loved to see Finisher there. Yeah, just making sure I didn't forget about it. All right, let's Blade Dance. Let's start taking out the Knight here. Yeah. And then I think we'll carry over. Let's hit a big malaise. You take that strength down. Looking real good. I don't think we need any other cards. There's some good cards in the mix there, but we're taking on one, 50 HP Mystic who's... It's not looking good for her. Let's just leave it at that. We have enough block already. Oh, is Burst Doppelganger? What? We don't need to calculate too hard here. All right, next turn we should be looking good. Let's throw out a deflect. Yeah. You just see that 0 cost deflect, and even when you have lethal, you just want to throw it out there. I don't know. We're fighting the Gremlin leader and his minions again. Malaise definitely a strong card here. I'm so certain that is the move that I'm going to burst Malaise. The leader, and let's really make this day. Let's knock it down a couple pegs. We also get the benefit of the upgraded burst hitting our doppelganger, so we're going to get 2 energy and 2 cards. So pretty great first turn. I think. Ooh, 2 cost 1,000 cuts. I'm going to take the after image. I think some free block. Never hurt anybody. We'll definitely terror the leader. 2 vice 3 with the melee, and that's good stuff. See what else we get here. Don't really need too much block. Keep knocking this guy down. So we're taking 13. We will end up blocking one more time. We wear off our weaken. Should have done that first. And see, I'm very attentive to detail with our orange pellets. I feel like in Slay the Spire, sometimes relics are just popping and you forget why. I was talking with one of my buddies the other day about recording some videos because we do it at work together. And he was like, all right, well, if you finish your Slay the Spire run, what are you going to do? What are you going to do next? And I don't know. I think my mindset going in was maybe nothing. I think this might be, you know, the one last ride, Slay the Spire playthrough, and that might just be the end. It's okay for a good idea to have an end, but we'll see. If I get the itch to play some other stuff, I might do that. I might do another series. I like the idea of having a set target in mind for what we're doing. So, Slay the Spire, beat all 20 Ascensions, and then the Heart on Ascension 20 for all of them. Like, that's a target that has a finish date, which is kind of nice. I feel like we can all kind of root for something. Think about this. Draw 2. I think we got to keep Burst Defend here. Really unfortunate. Don't have that attack push neither. We're doing okay. But, yeah, we'll take another Blade Dance. I think my idea going in was kind of like, let's play the games. What did I like watching on YouTube that maybe isn't happening anymore? I want to, play the games that people, like to see, but play the games that I want to see. And then, be the change, right? So yeah, Slay the Spire was a big one. I mean, I definitely, just to name a couple, I mean, the two that I really watched over the years, and Baylord still plays, but Baylord, man, learned a lot about Slay the Spire watching that guy, so he really knows his stuff. But the big one I really watched, I've been watching for years, is Northern Lion, of course, and our good friend Northern Lion the Egg. The guy is, I think, more on par with my skill level. Maybe he's a little better than me to Slay the Spire. Might have him beat in chess, maybe. So that's actually one, I've gotten the chess. I should have played Afterimage first, but gotten the chess itch a little bit late. I've been trying to play some rapid games on chess.com, and it's a good time. I've gotten a little better. Yeah, can we take this guy down here? Why did I? No, I don't know why I thought that. All right, well, we're going to take a big hit here, which is just highly unfortunate. Probably could have been avoided. That might merit a rest. Let's be smart here. No reason to take damage. We should be fine. Oh, yeah, maybe chess. I mean, there's a lot of people playing chess out there, and most of them are much better than me, but that's what I miss, the chess content that's more at my level, I guess. I think a lot of the big streamers in the chess world are just exhaust 20 cards in a combat. Well, look at us go. Yeah, but a lot of the big chess streamers are just excellent players, far above anything I can bring to the table. And let's think about this for a second. We'll take our gold. No more enemies in question marks. Kind of nice. Sometimes can be a drawback depending on what you're trying to do in your run. Cultist Potion is definitely just a tier or two above the Dexterity Potion. Draw one card if you draw a skill, gain block. I'm going to pass those 3. But yeah, I remember particularly Northern Lion when he was playing chess. Like, I felt like I was watching somebody around my, maybe intermediate skill level, and I was learning a little bit watching that. So maybe that's on the menu in the future. Or maybe another one of these offbeat games we've talked about. So this is a new event for us. We meet again. A cheery, disheveled fellow approaches you gleefully. You don't know this man. It's me, Ranwind. Have any goods for me today? The usual? A fellow like me can't make it alone, You eye him suspiciously and consider your options. We can ditch 88 gold for a relic. We can lose the power potion and get a relic. We can lose flying knee, get a relic. Or we can attack him. That's on the table. I definitely think we want the relic here. I don't like to give up gold in this scenario. I think that in this particular case, I lean towards the potion or maybe the card, depending on if the card is useful or not. Flying knee has probably served its purpose in our case. I think we're looking to draw other things, so let's ditch that. That's maybe the engine we were looking for. So the Shuriken. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain strength, and we have many ways to play multiple attacks. I'm thinking 56 HP is enough to take this guy down. Let's upgrade a Blade Dance. Might be enough to tilt us into more Shuriken procs. So, do what we got. One thing we want to remember here is we will do a big debuff, so that power potion might come in handy when it's time to pop orange pellets. So let's not forget that. Got a big turn 1. We didn't get burst. Would have liked to burst this guy. I kind of feel like 7 malaise, like maybe worth it anyway. 30 damage. I'm going to hold the Cultist Potion here. I know we can start buffing. I think we're going to be okay here. Let's throw a 5 malaise at this guy. And we'll pop Doppelganger. Let's get some more stuff. He's got some minions inbound here, so... All right. This is what you're looking for at a Noe's Codex. I think Corpse Explosion is a must-take. 6 poison when the enemy dies. Deal damage equal to its max HP to all enemies. I gotta tell you, when we end up doing tier lists, Corpse Explosion is going to be right at the top for me. I think unquestionably an S tier card in the silent pool. Is it the absolute best? Maybe, honestly. It's in the conversation for sure. I'm going to hang on to Noxious. I don't think that's like really huge. I'm hang on to both powers, actually. I think Burst Defend here is looking pretty good. And we will get the option to burst our Blade Dance here. So look at all those shiz. We're going to get some strength. Let's attack the lower health one first. We're already getting the strength, and we'll take that guy out. Let's just keep this guy weak, get some more strength, and that's Phantasmal Killer, but it has a cost. Backstab is a free attack. It might help with a Shuriken. I'll take the Backstab. Not sure if that's the right move, but the card we haven't really done much with yet, so 28 damage. Not bad. Oh, nice. This feels like a Corpse Explosion, and then only one attack, though. Nice. Nightmares? We haven't seen this one yet. Next turn, add 3 copies of a chosen card into your hand and then exhaust it. This one can get a little crazy. I used to think that the 3-cost Nightmare was kind of garbage, but I think I was wrong about that one for sure. There's a lot of great, just game-breaking synergies you can play with Nightmare, but for now, I don't think we need it. We're looking pretty good. All right, so he's got his big debuff coming here. We do a finisher with Blade Dance. You'll love to see that. This is going to be a big damage turn. Look, I don't know if it's going to be lethal, but it's good. Yeah, that's just fine. And we'll carry over a little block. You know, I don't even know if we're going to need to play any potions here. We might just be okay taking this guy on with no perks. Let's see. I'm going to pop Footwork. No need to play Corpse Explosion. Let's just let's be smart here. And we'll throw out the Phantasmal, Blade Dance. We're gonna get some strength again here. Yeah. We've defeated the Collector. Very nice. A lot of achievements in this game. I guess I did platinum it on console, but I didn't really think about, you know, how many trophies that was. Ancient Potion. This will prevent a debuff. I kind of like our current potions. I'm going to keep those. Now, do we Nightmare? Upgraded. We have some good stuff with this. Malaise is also good. I think Unload is just untakeable compared to those two. But we do want one of those. I'm thinking Nightmare. Get kind of crazy if you do it with Malaise. I'm going to take the conservative pick there. I don't think you're ever mad to have extra Malaise in your deck. Let's see what we got here. So we've got the Sacred Bark, which doubles the effectiveness of potions. We do have 3 potions. Does not impact the Smoke Bomb. Let's see, we have a power potion, so I think, what does that give you? 2 powers, and then we have the cultist potion, which would give us extremely high damage scaling. I don't feel like we're covered on damage scaling, though, with Shuriken, and then some high quantity cards. Velvet Choker, can't play more than 6 cards per turn. I think that's untakeable for us. We have too many boons associated with playing cards. We get the Time Eater, we might be in a little bit of a sticky spot there. But during boss and elite combos, gain energy at the start of your turn with the Slaver's Collar. This is one that I think is good. I would still rate it as a good relic. I don't think it's as strong as I once thought. I think it's easy to look at it and think, you know, no downside, must be good. I'm going to take it. I think it's better than our other 2 options, but not something I'd snap up every time. So we are going to get the Time Eater here. So there's some downsides to playing cards. I'm looking at this shop, and I think that's a must hit. If we don't like it, we can always hit this shop up here. So I will scroll up a little. Let's just see how the campfires are. Not a lot of campfires, a lot of question marks. Won't hit any enemies in those question marks with the Jizu bracelet, and we will get one more elite and then a campfire at the top. I think we're gonna try this. Let's give it a shot. Wish we had that corpse explosion permanently in our deck. I think, you know, killing all 3 of these guys quickly is always a good thing, but no such luck, and that's okay. I don't think we're playing finisher this turn, to be honest with you. I'm going to malaise this guy. He's got them doing the most damage, and he's going to be sticking around. We're going to have to start thinking about hitting these guys pretty hard pretty quickly. So I think Dagger Spray, even unupgraded, the AoE here might come into play. If we draw it here, we'll get the Phantasmal. We did not. But we will do double damage with these guys. So let's start getting these exploders out of here. Could have defended there. Not a strong play. I'm going to take a second Dagger Spray to kind of increase our odds of taking this guy out. And we'll hit this guy. We're going to get him with the poison, actually. So that's fine. And then if we get the teleport again, we've gotten it 2 times in a row, and we take it, I think this deck is stronger than the one we had yesterday. So, these look like skips to me. We're going to hit a shop here. This is a small chest. I'm going to open it. Sundial. Every 3 times you shuffle your draw pile, gain 2 energy. Great if you have a small deck or a lot of card draw. I think this is a decent fit for what we're doing. Our deck is not the smallest, but we do have a lot of ways to draw. We will definitely also cut the curse. I think that's a non-negotiable. I'm going to hang on to our gold here. I think we would get enough to remove again if we take the other chest. A couple of new Frozen Eye of using a draw pile. The card, when you're viewing your draw pile, the other cards are now shown in order. Question card, future card rewards have 1 additional card to choose from. And then the one that everybody loves, Ice Cream. Energy is now conserved between turns. We're going to talk about these more in the future when we have a chance to take them. But for now, we have no choice but to leave them behind. Let's see. So we got some of our 0 cost stuff here. I'm going to throw it out. Acrobatics. I'm going to burst Blur. Going to give us some carryover block. We'll pop Noxious. No reason to not throw some poison on these guys. I think Adrenaline is always an easy take out of the Codex. Maybe against the Time Eater, that might be the one exception. So we might not do that when we get up there, but we'll see. I'm going to ditch both defense. See what we get with Adrenaline. Not great. I do think we can hit this guy. Debating if this fight is leavable. I think no. I think we're doing just fine. So we'll take that guy down. We have enough to block. Hit this guy. We'll throw Doppelganger out there. End our turn. And if you haven't seen the Darklings before, The idea here is you have to take them all down to 0 at the same time, or else they come back at reduced HP. So sometimes AoE, it's kind of a test of AoE in your deck. Do you have enough to do something there? In our case, I think our deck is a little bit lacking in the AoE department, but I don't think we're going to be in too much trouble here. I would have loved to see finisher there, but that's all right. This is one of those situations where you got to start thinking, I maybe don't want to take this one out because I want to keep them both low and then have a shot to take them out at the same time. Let's go ahead and hit both these guys with malaise. And I think we'll take another adrenaline. Hopefully next maybe turn or two we should be looking pretty good. We'll burst adrenaline. Get a lot of block here. I know we could have maybe done Blade Dance or Survivor, even Acrobatics, but feeling okay about that choice. This guy's done. Let's take out this. Yeah, we're good. So this guy will go down to poison. Throw in Venom in the deck because it doesn't matter. Do we want a block potion? You hate to carry Smoke Bomb all the way to the top, but there are, we're going to run into some elites here. We might want that get out of jail free, so I'm going to leave the block potion on the ground. Second Noxious, it's a little slow. Outmaneuver just showing up all the time. Maybe not having all the cards in the silent pool makes... Maybe it just feels like Outmaneuver showing up a lot. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going crazy here. But, all right, so we have 3 Jaw Worms. So we saw the single Jaw Worm on several occasions now. But we are going to see the triple Jaw Worms on the 3rd floor. We can block. We'll throw out a Doppelganger. We're going to get some energy and some draw next turn. Yeah, these guys can do some real damage if you're not careful, but we have a lot of damage coming their way too. I think we're going to try to take out Jaw Worm. Let's start with that. And then we can do a nice... I think we should be able to get 2 here. Let's do the math. So let's see, 36, 43. I think if we attack this guy and then hit him with this, we're good. Block, throw out a big malaise. We'll take a little, but nothing, not concerned yet. I feel like we're doing okay health-wise. And then we should be, with our bonus strength, ready to knock this guy out. Very nice. You know what? I'm proud of us, guys. I think we played this run a little more carefully. We do have the footwork to go with an upgraded dodge roll. That's 8 block for 2 turns. I think we can take that. Yeah, I think I played a little more carefully. I think that the folks watching will appreciate the improvement over yesterday's run. Definitely don't think a win is guaranteed here, but I think it is in the realm of possible. And I can feel I think I'm knocking the rust off a little bit. It's been a while, but coming back. Not quite riding a bike, but let's see. I got the minions first if we can. Can't. I don't think it matters too much. I would have liked to have played a big malaise there on the main. I'm going to play it anyway. I think it's probably still worth it. This is where AoE comes in handy. If things start to get a little dicey, we're going to take a big hit at some point. I will probably think about playing our smoke bomb. That's why you keep it, right? But burst adrenaline definitely keeps you in the game. I think we can throw out acrobatics. All right, this is not a block situation for me. I think we want to try to get a big finisher, maybe with the terror. If we can't get him, and I'm not going to do all the math here, then we might throw out the smoke bomb. And Noxious just doesn't do it for you here. All right, so let's start with terror on the Reptomancer. We can play deflect, no downside there. I don't think we have enough attacks to make this happen, but we're gonna try anyway. Then the question becomes, can we block enough if we kill the dagger? We can kill the dagger. So we've got 30 incoming. We're going to lose Doppelganger if we play this. I'm willing to take one to see this one more turn. Endless Agony, I think... That's a card, I gotta tell you, when I first saw Endless Agony, I thought it was like an F- tier. And I've definitely, by no means is it like the greatest card in the pool, but it is not an F- tier. I think there are many use cases for Endless Agony. This might be a smoke bomb, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, not willing to take 50 damage or however much that is. Let's throw the smoke bomb. That's why we carried it this far. Can't take it with you. Can't save it for Slay the Spire too. So, 150 gold. You hate to not... I think I'm going to... Oh, this is a tough call. I feel like one of those question marks, like one of the upcoming ones, is very likely a shop. I know there's some mods that tell you the answer to that question, but or the odds of things happening. I'm not a mods player, with the exception of maybe playing some of the community developed characters. That might be the one exception, but I like to play the game as it was intended. Let's see the big. I'm gonna take this chest. So this is maybe a questionable decision this late in the game. Tungsten Rod. Whenever you lose HP, lose one less. That's pretty good. And then we're going to get another chest. We take 2 curses. I am not going to open the tiny chests. I know it's, there's some common and uncommon relics that are good. 2 curses this late in the game in a run that seems like it has a good chance to win. Seems inadvisable. So we're in the winding halls. As you slowly make your way up the twisting pathways, you constantly find yourself losing your way as the walls and ground seem to inexplicably shift before your eyes. The constant whispering voices in the back of your head aren't helping things either. Let's see what we got. We can become cursed and heal 20 HP. I don't think we're going to take another curse. 2 madness at the cost of 10 HP. Reduce the cost of a random card in your hand to 0. For the combat, I believe the upgrade here... I can't click that in the... No, that's not a thing. I think it makes it 0 cost. Or we can just lose 4 max HP. I'm going to lose the max HP. I think that madness is maybe not so bad here, but 80 health, we got it with the pair early on. I'm willing to bleed a little bit there and maintain stability. All right, this is an interesting one. The Divine Fountain. Come across shimmering water flowing endlessly from a fountain on a nearby wall. You can drink, remove all curses from your deck, no string is attached. I've got to tell you, I played Slay the Spire for many years. I avoided curses so aggressively. I swear I didn't even see this event until like sometime last year. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I'd played this game for so long and never even knew this existed. But not something you necessarily want to plan around, but you're always happy to see it when you have a curse or 2 in your deck. You can give up all of our gold for a relic that makes the enemy weak. I am not sure that is worth it at this point. Then we can roll the dice and see if we get a shop in the next question mark, which might get us something a little bit better. Or we can take a benefit guaranteed at the cost of all of our gold. But if we get a shop, we have kind of ruined our chance at anything good there. Tough one. I think on non-Ascension mode, 150 gold is enough to get a relic. Certainly enough for a card. I'm going to leave it. Did not work out. But we do get the Mind Bloom event, which is another... I think this is generally a good one. But while walking and traversing through the chaos of the spire, your thoughts suddenly begin to feel very real. Imaginings of monsters and riches begin to manifest themselves into reality. The sensation is quickly fleeting. What do you do? I am war. Fight a boss from Act 1, but get a rare relic if you win. I am awake. Upgrade all cards. You can no longer heal, and I am healthy. Heal to full HP, but at the cost of a curse. I will not be healing to full HP for a curse. That's not enough HP to make that worth it. 14 is just not enough. Upgrade all cards. I am awake. This is kind of the Slay the Spire community meme, isn't it? I don't know if you've ever seen the subreddit, but reset the counter. Somebody took, what is it, Mark of the Bloom? I think that's what it's called. But yeah, it means under no circumstances can you heal. That means no fairy in a bottle, no potions, no resting at campsites. When Slay the Spire tells you something, Slay the Spire means it. We're going to fight a boss. Let's go for the rare relic. I don't think we're going to have any trouble against an Act 1 boss here. We can play a huge malaise, and this guy will basically do nothing. So I think we're doing fine. We play 2 malaises if we want. All right, down 9 strength. I think this fight is essentially over. Obviously we could injure ourselves when the Guardian flips into his other state. Man, this is just not a very intimidating attack with all that strength down. I'm just going to play all of this. Yeah, more adrenaline, sure. Absolutely. Interesting to know, we are getting the perk of Slaver's Collar. This counts as a boss fight, so it's a little interesting interaction there. We're getting that bonus energy. And now we get to play a big finisher, hopefully with a little extra strength on the menu too. Enough that this is still going to do some damage. Very nice. I don't think we need to take any of these. I'm curious how I'm gonna feel tomorrow. If we win this one, maybe we'll try a different character. Maybe we'll go back to the Ironclad and try Ascension 1. Kind of debating in my head what makes me get plenty of block on the white. Oh, I guess you only get hit with the spikes for 1 attack, so interesting. Good to know. I know that's not the case for the spikers, if I'm remembering that correctly. Or a doppelganger. Yeah, I guess we actually also have the option to throw in a defect or watcher run now. Very good to know. Let's see, we do have blur. Guy's doing pretty much nothing. Plenty of block. We can throw out a couple of attacks here. And this guy should be just about done. I've been teaching, teaching, quote unquote, my son to play the guitar. I'm by no means an excellent guitar player, but I do enjoy it. I mean, I can play, a basic chord progression for sure. Not going to be shredding any rock concerts anytime soon, but certainly know enough to teach some young kids the basics along the way, I think. Let's see, tough bandages. Definitely one of the better silent rugs. Haven't seen this one yet. Whenever you discard a card, gain 3 block. That can be run defining. Don't think it's going to be run defining here. We don't have that kind of discard, but yeah, we'll still take it. I know that the Time Eater does cleanse debuffs at some point, so debating a second terror. I think with the strength scaling, we're okay without it. But yeah, I've my daughter certainly, I was teaching her first, obviously she was here first, so I was kind of letting her mess around with it a little bit, and she enjoys it. I think she enjoys being performed to as opposed to playing the guitar itself. She'll strum a little, but my son, on the other hand, man, that guy, he goes crazy for it. If he hears me playing in the basement without him, he gets noticeably upset. Very cute. I hope he gains a little bit of a love for music. Took me something that came to me a little bit later in life. I definitely love my guitar. Got a couple of electrics that my brother left behind when he moved out to California. But let's see. I think we go ahead and hit the big ones here. This seems like it solves so many problems. I got a couple of his electrics, and I've got his old bass, and then I bought an acoustic when COVID hit. Got to do something, and I think that was a good use of time. Getting a lot of value out of that, and you know, kids love to listen to their songs played over and over again, so that's working out okay. Let's hit him with another malaise. We're gonna take a little bit here. I mean, against I didn't mention this. I think we saw a Wraith form pop up in Nilry's earlier, but 2 intangible at the cost of dexterity. I mean, there's a lot of ways to make Wraith form go crazy. I don't think we have many of them right now. Good card, though. Definitely one that's going to come into play as we keep playing our higher Ascension levels. There's any reason to play these, right? So, taking Adrenaline. Flavor's Collar popping again here. This guy's an elite. I know he's intangible. You still want to play your Blade Dance, though, because we're going to get the strength up. Let's not make that mistake. Do I play Adrenaline? No. I'm not going to play Adrenaline, and I am instead going to take Dodge and Roll to get a little block next turn. We'll get some more weak on this guy. I mentioned last time, Chemical X is one of my favorite relics, and we've seen quite a few of the good X-cost cards in this run. So the Silent is another one where Chemical X can go kind of crazy at times. Man, not a lot to work with here. I actually think we want to keep our block. I mean, Noxious, I don't think we need. Certainly play that. Certainly play that. We'll do 20 damage while this guy's not intangible. Yeah, we can blur some of that block over. And he probably won't die this turn with the intangible, even with the double. Yeah, so that goes down to 1 even with the double. We'll still hit him. No reason not to make it as much of a guarantee as we can next turn. Put Blade Dance into our draw pile to kind of increase our likelihood of getting attacks. And there we go. We did beat him. Pingsha, man, we got the discard synergies here, but not a lot of discard cards. But whenever you discard a card during your turn, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. That can be another game breaker, particularly on floor fights. But not much we can do here. Leg sweep. I mean, this is the last stop before the boss, right? Yeah. Bouncing Flask definitely out. I think Blur is pretty good. We've gotten some use out of that. I think our deck is good enough to win as is, and you hate to tinker with the balance. I'm gonna rest. I think we have the upgrades we need. One thing we definitely want to remember here is Cultist Potion. No reason not to pop that right away. The Power Potion, I mean, this guy does debuff. But does he debuff in a way that you can cleanse? No, because I know he takes away draw. Burst Malaise is pretty good here. We'll cleanse it. Let's get some strength rolling. I know the shivs are not necessarily good plays here. I think I'm going to throw out Finisher and then Burst Malaise. I know it's not the perfect Malaise, but it will, I think, be good enough to start the fight. And we'll save our other Malaise for post-cleanse if it comes to that. The potion, I'm going to hang on to it. That's an interesting question we're being asked by Slay the Spire. Better to take the perk of a power right now, or do we want to save it for when we might have a debuff? I'm going to try it. So let's see. How many cards can we play here? So we can play 3 more. I am going to play dodge and roll. We're gonna flip him over here. He will gain some strength. We have a little bit of block. Gain 1 strength or 2. This is where your game knowledge really gets tested. The weak flowing. I don't think any of these are good enough. We're gonna skip for now. So we did gain 1 strength. Maybe that scales up in future ascensions. All right, let's think of our options here. I think terror is definitely playable. You hate to keep flipping playing the blade dance, but we do get strength with that too. All right, we probably played, we're playing a little bit too many cards. I think that, you know, only getting 3 cards on our next turn is a little bit risky. We do have the blur, though. And we can blur again, potentially, if we draw it. I think that's worth rolling the dice. We did not get blur. However, we can block enough, and we can throw at 13 by 5. 20 by 5, wow. With the vulnerable. So this will turn him now. And if I remember correctly, he cleanses on the turn after he gets under 50%. So what is that, 225 or so? 228? I think we're doing okay here. All right. We're going to give ourselves a couple extra plays. I think there's a... we're getting to the point now where we want to be able to finish this guy off, given the opportunity. I don't think we need any of these. It's looking like we're going to be okay here. We might get our second win. Have 9 energy during a single turn. Adrenaline. Didn't know that was a trophy. I think we have a pretty good shot here. We can play 5 cards. We're already blocking enough. A couple more. I want to play the finisher combo here. Feels right. 24 by 3. That's pretty good. We flip him. We can full block. We might get out of this without taking damage, which is kind of wild. Acrobatics, I think, is pretty solid. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. It might not be as close as I thought. Let's burst blur. Get some block going. I mean, this is a win, right? I think that's a win. Oh my god. He gets health back. Guys, I'm a fool. I am a fool. And we're not going to have the vulnerable anymore. However, not the end by any stretch. We hit him with another malaise. I think we're still fine. A definite misplay by me. I'm not sure why I thought that was enough to take him out. Wow. Let's see. We played 7, so we can hit. We could play out here and flip him, which is definitely what we're going to do. I don't think we need Doppelganger. We're in 6. We're okay. These are the kind of things that are going to come back to me as we play more, but man, that's a little embarrassing. How did I ever beat Ascension 20? I feel like that seems impossible. Watching myself play right now, it's crazy. I don't think we need another malaise. Let's just draw our attacks. I think we're okay. All right. This time, for real. And we defeated the Time Eater. You have my word. I will not stop this video before we see the main menu again. So no matter what happens here, we are going to go back to the main menu. So thump, thump, thump. We have the heart pulsing again. We prepare our daggers, and 777. Hey, Where's my big payout? Heart squirms and bleeds, ultimately still pounding. We've dealt a total of 1,459 damage to the heart. And we will sleep. Beat the game with the silent. There we go. And we keep this train moving. All right, we got a new unlock, so let's not go anywhere yet. Let's see and make sure we all see it. We're getting some new relics here. Okay, I don't remember relics having to be unlocked. Wow. I hope Slay the Spire 2 has some of the unlock mechanics. I know they kind of like don't play much of a factor after you play the game for a while, but it makes it fun. This is why we're doing this. This is great. Voodoo Doll, Smiling Mask, Tiny Chest. Probably not my 3 favorite relics, but it's still cool that you get to unlock them. Let's proceed. Roll credits. I'm not going to make you guys watch the credits. I'm sure we've all watched the end before. We will see the animation here, though. Ironclad and the silent keys are lit up. We'll have to do the defect. Get that last key glowing. All right. But for now, everybody, thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. We can always do some more. Next time, not promising anything. I'm feeling the defect potentially, but I think we'll try one of the characters we haven't played yet. But until then, catch y'all later. Thanks. Bye.